to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Now, as the workplace continues to evolve, so does one of the platforms which is at the heart of it all, Zoom. Once synonymous with video calls, Zoom has now dropped videos from its name, signaling a bold shift in strategy. In an exclusive conversation, Aparna Bawa, who's the Chief Operating Officer at Zoom, breaks down the company's transformation into AI-first work platform. One that is not just keeping pace with the future of work, but also helping shape it. From agentic AI and custom companions to the launch of Zoom Phone in India market, she shares how Zoom is reimagining productivity, decision making, and communication for enterprises worldwide, and why India plays such a pivotal role in that vision. Listen into this chat. Aparna, welcome to CNBC TV 18.
Thank you so much.
I'm so glad, I must say, that we are doing this in person and not over Zoom. But what brings you to India?
Well, you know, India is one of our strategically most important markets across the globe. And, you know, recently the IMF put out a report that listed out the economic prospects for some of the leading countries in the world. And India is going to be the fourth largest economy in 2025. And so it's obvious that, you know, our focus should match what is prevalent across the globe. And India is such an important part, not just because of its own economic growth, but it is sort of the jumping off point for most of Asia. And it is a breeding ground for multinationals who also want to have a presence in Asia with the attractiveness of the labor market, the technology adoption, and you know, even the geography.
Yeah. And I must say, you're coming at a time when, you know, it's 5 years since, you know, not just India, but the world embraced Zoom with open arms. Like, you know, it is 5 years to 2020 when, you know, we went into a lockdown, when the boundaries and the borders shut, and we were all working from our respective homes. So how do you see this overall evolution of Zoom, you know, in the past 5 years?
Look, you know, COVID was tough on everybody across the world. We felt such a privilege that we were able to provide an ability for people to connect, not only in the workspace, which is so important to keep economies alive and people's livelihoods going, but also for that human connection. So, you know, grandparents could connect with their grandkids. You know, you'd have funerals, weddings, all sorts of things on Zoom that I just didn't even anticipate walking into the situation in 2020.
Yeah.
And it's such a privilege and a gift for us all at Zoom. Every employee, I think, in that time period felt like it was their, you know, God's calling, if you will, to, you know, answer the call and make sure that humanity could survive during this very tough period. And as we evolve, you know, obviously the world knows our meeting product, and you know, they know us for meetings. We are evolving, and we have evolved into a platform with a variety of products, and underpinning it is AI. And so we just, you know, we would love to, our next phase is to make sure that the globe understands that we are a multifaceted company with the ability to seamlessly make life easy for our users.
Yeah, and speaking about next phase, it's only 6 months ago that you dropped videos from your name. So what does that signify in, you know, what does this shift signify in the larger evolution of Zoom going forward?
Yeah, you know, during COVID, I think it taught the world that you can turn on your video and it's going to be okay. And it's actually going to be wonderful. And that's how you can see emotion, you can see, you know, make connections, and you can develop long-lasting bonds, even if you're not able to see each other. And the reality is the workplace has shifted into something a little bit more complex. We don't necessarily want to lose some of the benefits of working remotely. You can skip the very long commute. It's raining cats and dogs here in Mumbai. Yeah, I'm sure people would love to get on Zoom and skip that commute in the rain. But at the same time, there are different projects or different work streams, different workflows that are just much better if you're in person. And we, as a platform, would like to, it's all about making human beings much more productive, much more efficient, so they can spend the time doing value-added, critical things that only human beings can do and take some of the, the rote tasks away with automation, with AI, and making human beings much more productive in their daily lives. And that is the Zoom 2.0, if you will. And we can see, a digital transformation across the board for all of our customers, even as we get into this hybrid work environment.
So Zoom 2.0 is all about automation and AI. When it comes to AI, because everyone's, focus is now on AI, how does Zoom differentiate as, an AI first platform as compared to someone else in the market?
Right. We have been doing AI for a long time. I mean, even if you think about it, the virtual background that, you see that you used in meetings, our meeting service, that has machine learning and AI embedded into it so that we know exactly where your head is located in the frame. And, we make it sort of look and seamless as if to the user, as if that's you, it's the actual background. And it's, that has been things like that, even like noise cancellation in the meetings platform. I had a dog during COVID, and you couldn't tell if the dog was barking or not, because mine, you can adjust the noise cancellation to adjust for things that are going on inside of your home, or if high traffic area in the office. Those all things are fundamentally rooted in AI technology. But moving forward, we have done so much. As I said, we've launched a service called AI Companion, which underpins all of the various features on our platform. So that includes the meetings, Zoom Phone, contact center. We've launched email, calendar, scheduler. We've even done things like Zoom Tasks, where you can, use your interactions during the day to actually take notes and action items and make task lists for yourself by categories. Everything going towards making that human being, that knowledge worker, that much more productive and being able to spend time on things that really matter, whether it's creative flows or sort of just personal time, spending time on things that really matter.
Yeah. And what are some of the gaps, in the modern workflow that Zoom is addressing with some of its offerings? And what gaps continue that you intend to address going forward?
Well, let me just talk a little bit about our AI companion in meetings. We are able to, say you come to work, you're a couple minutes late. Sometimes I can come into a meeting a couple of minutes late. Instead of interrupting the group and saying, hey, catch me up, I'm so sorry, and then everybody has to stop and take 5 minutes to get you up, our meeting summary and AI companion features allow you to catch yourself up right away. You can literally put in catch me up. It will tell you what has happened. You can use it to take notes. You can use it to have action items. You can distribute the action items to the rest of the team. And that same technology then goes and underpins every other aspect of the platform, whether it's Zoom Phone. So imagine, how annoying it is to actually listen to voicemails now. We have no patience. If you can take that voicemail and you can actually not have to listen to it, but derive the most important parts from it, you can use our team chat and actually say, focus me on the most important team chats that are critical that I need to look at. And, in the future, it will actually be able to use your own, if you're working for a company, that company's internal data to actually decide for that company what's important for that person to look at. And it can be a very personalized experience. And to that end, we've even launched a custom AI companion studio that is tailored to the individual, leveraging their own company's information. It's not something that we keep and we train our models with, but it's definitely for the benefit of that own company. And we see this agentic, task-oriented, flow-oriented solution set really changing the lives of employees across the globe.
Speaking about Zoom phones launching in Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, what does it signify or say about the larger ambition of Zoom when it comes to in the telecom, like in the country?
Right. We definitely, we target both enterprises, SMBs, and the individual user, as you know. And the SMBs are so important from a economic generation capability, from across the globe. Small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeline for a lot of the economies. Enterprises obviously are large, notable. We see both having an interest in Zoom Phone. It is, traditional workplaces, they have a device, they have a phone set, they need to connect. It's not always going to be on sort of, the box meeting on your computer or on your tablet. And we want to be able to up level that and provide a seamless experience across the platform so that you're able to leverage some of the technology that is not available for a legacy phone throughout your experience, regardless of what format you want to be in.
And what are some of the specific, consumers or clients' behavior that you've seen specifically in the India market that inform some of your decision when it comes to tapping into India as a market?
Yeah, I can give you some examples. Lenskart, I believe, is an eyewear company. They are using Zoom so you walk into Lenskart. I need glasses, actually. I don't have them on today, but say I broke my glasses. I walk into a Lenskart. I can, maybe my power has shifted or my old prescription is wrong, and I can get on a Zoom link, and I can talk to an ophthalmologist that's located several hours away. I can quickly get my prescription filled. I can get my new glasses, and I'm out the door. That is convenience for me, especially for, I have low power, but I'm thinking about my son who does, is a little bit high, and then he probably would be lost without his glasses. And there have been times where he's broken them and we're like, oh no, what now? If you could walk in and get that done, that's so convenient. And we're so happy to be a part of that type of use case.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Shibani. I appreciate it very much.
Well, now it is time for a short break. On the other side, we're catching up with Sri Vatsan Jaishankar, Head of AR Partnerships at Snap Inc.